Hi, this is Olga from Wholesale USA Dresses.com. Buying wholesale overproduction from China. There are many factories in China, and these factories, in the process of running their operations, have a tremendous amount of clothing overproduction from time to time. This category in the closeout industry is created due to the nature of the process that takes place between the factories, the brands, and the retailers. For example, overproduction can occur because a factory production merchandise for Calvin Klein wants to be sure that it will have enough stock to meet all of the future needs of the company. Even if Calvin Klein only ordered 1,000 dresses to be produced this time, but the factory expects that another 1,000 units will be ordered next week, the Chinese dress manufacturer might decide to continue to run its machines and produce 2,000 pieces of clothing in one run. Another instance that can take place in the winter season in the USA is fast approaching, and the factory produced women's jackets for 9 West. It will want to run its machines at full steam to ensure that it has enough jackets available for 9 West. But what happens if the winter in cities like New York or Chicago is not as cold as expected? The factory will be stuck with all the jackets that it overproduced for 9 West. The Chinese clothing factory understands the consequence of overproducing apparel, but it would rather take a small loss on the excess clothes than to lose wholesale buyers that will switch their buying to another apparel producer. If Macy's is left without enough products to sell, it will not take a chance next season and will give it an order to another clothing supplier. While many Chinese producers implement sophisticated research systems to monitor consumer demand, many are still working based on their perception of the market and on feedback from the companies that they supply merchandise to. The factories in China know that they have the option to sell their excess production directly to wholesalers, importers, and retailers. Be aware that in order to purchase any brand name or designer overproduction, you need to have permission from the brand or designer, not from the apparel manufacturer. If a manufacturer makes suits for Harry, those suits can only be authorized to be sold by Harry. You can also decide to look for merchandise that has the Chinese factory's private label and design, or simply focus on purchasing the wholesale goods directly from the companies who the inventory was produced for. As a side note, it's interesting that, for instance, you can have a factory in Asia producing dresses for different labels. In theory, Ralph Lauren and Anna Klein might be ordering their dresses from the same place, but simply putting their respective labels on once they receive their wholesale orders. I have not conclusively researched this, but I suspect that this is what takes place across many wholesale products categories. Another way to purchase brand name and designer merchandise at below wholesale prices is by focusing on department store overstock. You are welcome to visit my New York closeout warehouse the next time you are in the USA. Don't forget to visit.